Hey guys, so in this video we're gonna try to repair this e-bike battery. This is 48 volts. What does it say? How many amp hours? No, it doesn't say. But regardless, so this one has a power button. Also has the meter. So it's analog. So I tried everything in every combination. So turn it on, off, and then switch on and off, and then checking the meter, nothing. So with the multimeter, if I can show you, if I put the prongs onto the terminals, it's showing 3.3 volts. So which is not good, of course. And the power button is on already, and if I change this, not that it matters, because this one only locks the bike to the frame. This one is I don't think it's a voltage on and off. So if I do that, it's still showing 3.3. Okay, so let's open it up and see what's going on. Remove the key. And so how do you open it? On these this side is all the nuts and bolts, so not at this side, but we gotta do the other side. So what I usually do, I put a tape on top of all of them so they don't fall out when I open it from the other side. So let's do that, and then we will open it from the other side. Okay, so I taped all the points so the nut or bolt, whatever, wouldn't fall out. So now I'm gonna turn over and I'm just gonna unscrew these screws. So once I do that, so I'm just gonna pull the case out afterwards without worrying about picking up all the bolts, bolts or nuts, whatever. Okay. So after removing all the screws, it still wouldn't open because I noticed there's a, let's see if you can see it, on the terminal there's a ring that's holding two pieces together. So we're gonna unscrew this ring, and then we can open it. Okay, it's not gonna happen with this. I'm gonna have to get a plier or something. Okay, now the sticker, I'm gonna have to cut it through the sticker or stickers. Okay, there's a lock. There you go. Okay, let's see if you guys can see. Okay. Tape. Huh. Okay, let's pull the wires out. Oh, I need access to BMS, which is right here, so I can check the voltages of the cells. Usually this one is glued. There's a double-sided tape on the other with the put it on this plastic casing and on the battery. So I'm just gonna pull it out with force a little bit, or what I can do is use like a screwdriver on one side, just push it a little bit, not too much to damage the cells, just enough to make it come out. Okay, well, You just have to do it from side to sides. Don't do it from one side all the way, and then it comes out. Okay, where's this wire? Yeah, see? Alright. So, so once this is out, all I need access is this. So I'm going to cut around this PVC wrapping a little bit to get access to the BMS, which is here. And I'm going to do it with the blade. Alright, hold on. Let me just push you guys a little back. Okay, so I open up a wrap a little bit to get access to main negative and main positive, not going through the BMS, just straight. So this is the main negative, that is the main positive. So if I put my probes of my multimeter, let's see if I can do it while holding the camera. Okay, so let's put it on a tripod. So if I do this and this, it is showing 42.62 volts. Okay, so that indicates that some cells in the series are too low, and the BMS, of course, cutting the power out, only showing 3.3 volts. So what I'm gonna do, not that is the best way, but what I'm gonna do, just to quicken the work, I'm gonna connect my power supply, which is there. Oh, I'm gonna change it to 54. Oh no, that's amps. 54.6, and I'm gonna change it to 1 amp. I'm gonna connect my negative to the negative of the battery. I'm gonna connect the positive to the positive of the battery. I'm gonna turn it on. So, and see if the voltage start coming up. Once they do, let's say, I don't know, 45 or 46 volts, then I'm going to connect the charger. Oh, just to let you know, I plugged in the charger prior opening this, and it was not charging at all. The charger was green all the way. So that's what I'm going to do right now. It's bypassing the BMS and forcefully charging the cells as a battery, full battery. So let's connect the terminals, and then let's see what happens. Okay, so I connected the positive. So that wire is coming in, going to the bunch of stuff. So I removed that, and then I connected that directly, so I don't have to plug this one in directly here, which is the same thing. It's a single wire soldered from here to here. And the negative point is right there. So I'm just gonna touch it and see if my what do you call it, the power supply takes the charge. It starts charging. So once it does, these last numbers is gonna start showing watts. How many watt? Like, so it's 54. So if it takes if it's at 42 volts right now, it's gonna be like 42 watts. So, but anyway, it's gonna just show some number once I touch it. So let's see what happens. So once I touch it, and then there, you see it's showing 43 and rising. So 43.9, 44 volts. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it until it goes to like 46 or something. Keep in mind, this is not the best way to do it, because you can technically overcharge the cells. If one series is has less resistance and another series very high resistance, the less resistance will overcharge by doing this. If you do this, don't leave it and then go somewhere else. If something happens, you know, I'm just gonna take the battery and throw it outside, because, you know, like if it catches fire or starts smoking or something, I'm gonna remove the charging right away, and then I'm gonna throw it outside and let it burn. But I'm just doing it just to ease my work. But again, this is not the best practice, just to let you know. But this is how also you can revive some batteries, and I've done that numerous times. And again, you don't want to fully charge the battery this way. You just want to bring it up enough that the BMS should start detecting enough voltage from all cells that it will activate itself. But let's wait and let it come up and see what happens. Okay, so I've taken the power supply off because it went up to like 54.5 or something, and I checked the output terminal. I'll show you guys. So this is the output terminal. So if I put my prongs on it, it's still showing 3.3 volts, right? Okay, so this is uncut, right? So sometimes, I'm not gonna say right now it's gonna happen, but there's a chance it might. So sometimes you need to reset the BMS. So okay, now before I do that, I'll show you the voltages of the battery as well. So this is the main positive. Let's bring the camera closer, and this is the main negative, showing 54.5. Okay, and if I keep the main positive and I put the negative through the BMS, it's showing 3.3, which is on the terminal. So right now we need to reset the BMS. So there's like every BMS, of course, is different, but the most common way is what you do. You take the wire, like it's just connected. There's just like 2 alligator clips onto the wire. So you short main negative of the battery with main negative output BMS. So the BMS showing 3.3 volts negative. I'm not touching positive in anywhere, right? So I'm touching negative of the BMS output with the negative of the battery. I'm just gonna touch it for like 2 seconds and I'm gonna remove the wire. So sometimes, I'm not 100% sure it's going to work or not, but sometimes it does work. So now check. So back to the battery first, negative to the battery. It's showing 54.49, whatever. And now to the BMS. It's still showing 3.3. Okay, sometimes it does work. So this time it didn't. So now we have to go back to cell level and see if any of the cells, one of the cells is like really, really low or dead, and that's causing the BMS not to output the voltage that we want. And just to check that the switch is on of the BMS. So once again, this one with this one, 3 volts, and then let's turn it off the switch and see what happens. This one and this one. Yeah, 1.1 volts. This is actually nothing. Oh yeah, 0.1, so because it's just cycling to resistance. So that proves this the switch is off. So when I turn the switch on, it shows 3 volts. Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna disconnect the balancing wires off the BMS and check the voltages of all the series one by one and see if one is too low, below like 3 volts, and then that might be an issue. Okay. Okay, so I've got the balancing leads out, the connector off the BMS, and all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go one by one to each series of cell. So I'm gonna put my negative onto the main negative, the first negative, and then I'm gonna do the positive. It's showing 3.6. So anything below 3 or close to 3 would be an issue. So 3.6 for the first, 3.5 for the second, 2.4 for third, fourth, fifth. They are unbalanced a little. 2.3. See? So that was what, six series. Okay, so let's just see how many more. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Whoa, close. 12, 13. Okay, so if I remember, number 6 was low, and number 12 is on the border. Okay, so let's try to boost that series alone. To do that, there are a couple of ways. I can rip through the whole thing and then just connect my prongs of my battery pack directly to the cells, or I can try using this kind of connector. It has a pin and the alligator clip. So, but the thing is, this one is too thin to do it. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go through the series. The wrapping. I'm gonna have to cut the wrapping and then get access to those cells. Okay, well, sometimes you have to do that. All right, so again, with the blade, very carefully, or sometimes you can actually just rip this off like this, because I already ripped the other side, so this becomes easier. Okay. You can always rewrap this. Okay. Camera, just the corner is stuck. Okay, let's cut the corner. Oh, where's my blade? Okay. There. Okay. Now let's find out where's that frickin' 6 series of cell is. Okay, so if this is mean negative, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be 6. So if I put my positive here and put my negative on the other, yeah, so 2.3. Okay, so the connection for this, for my prongs, where's the balancing wire connection? Okay, it's at the bottom. So that would be positive. I'm gonna put my positive from my power pack. Oh, not power pack, sorry, can you guys see it? Okay, let's bring you guys closer. Okay, first I'm gonna change the voltage to 4. No, actually 3 point, whatever. Let's do 3.8. Okay, on my power supply, 3.8. Okay, and I'm gonna take my positive. It's not on yet, my power supply. I'll take my positive there and go through it. And this. Okay, my camera is sitting on top of the PVC. Come on, get out. Okay, so the positive is connected and the negative. Now, where's the negative connection? This. Okay, it might be there. Let's check it. Yeah, so that's negative. So if I turn it over, remove this tape a little bit. Actually, let's remove it. There you go. Okay. I'll put just want to confirm the polarity one more time. Otherwise, gonna spark. Yep, negative. So now, if I touch this, I don't know, can you see my power supply? Okay. Okay, so once I touch my negative here, my power supply is gonna start showing the power. So okay, let's remove the wrap. You guys can see it. Okay, see, it's going up. So this, I'm just gonna connect it and let it rise. See, 2.8. So there are 4 cells in parallel, and I'm giving 1 amp. That means I'm using 0.25 amp per cell to increase the voltage. You don't want to do fast because that will damage the cell. Like, not 100%, but it will degrade or damage. Depends how bad the cells are. So you want to do it like very, very slowly. Slower the better. So let it rise the voltage enough. The BMS would trigger or come online. We still want to do the balancing at the end before we finish this battery and give it back to the customer. Okay, just want to make sure you don't touch any metal because here are all the connections. So you see if it's rising. So 3.05 volts. So I'm gonna wait for like 20 minutes and then I'll get back to show you the results. If it keeps going up, if it starts to go down, or if it gets stuck, that means the cells are bad. In that case, then we'll have to replace the cells. So after this, I'm gonna do the 12th series as well, and then we're gonna have to do the balancing. But before balancing, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually charge the whole thing. If the BMS comes online, I'm gonna charge the whole thing and see how unbalanced it is after fully charged. If it's unbalanced, then I'm gonna balance it and then charge it again because it will take charge afterwards. But sometimes when you charge, it will balance itself if the resistance are similar throughout the pack. So let's see what happens. So let's just wait. Okay, so I plugged the BMS back in. I charged those 2 series of cells to like 3.4 or 3.5-ish. Even they're low compared to the others. Some are 3.8, some are 3.6, but regardless, I just plugged in the charger, and I have the cable here. So I'm gonna plug it in and see if it takes a charge. Yep, you can see it's red. So it is taking a charge. So I'm gonna wait now and see. Actually, let's check the voltage. Right now, I'm gonna unplug it and check the voltage of the main cells and see what's the difference gonna be after full charge. So right now it's showing with the charger in 47.2 and increasing. And if I remove the charger, let's see, it is showing, come on, I don't think I'm touching it right. Okay, so it's 46.78. So let's see. So, okay, remove that. Oh, I'm gonna put the charger back on and wait until it fully charges. Yep, see. Okay. Hey guys, so I charged the battery and it stopped at 49 point something volts. Actually, let's check it. 49.62 volts. It's just not charging anymore. I took out the balancing leads and I checked the voltages again. The fifth one went to 4.19 already. 4.2 is the max. That's where the BMS stops. Other ones, while they're still at 3.7, 3.8. So that means the cells are not balanced. So I'm going to put my balancing machine on and balance the cells. And then I'll charge it again and see if they all, come up to 4.19 or whatever, close to 4.2. So I'll show you how I do my balancing. So let's bring out the balancing wires and the balancing machine. Okay, so here's my balancing wires. That's not the one that's connected right now. That's original. So these are like extra wires that I got from another BMS. So what I will do, I'll solder black to main negative, and then all the reds to all the plus in series. And then once that is all connected to the cells, I'll plug it in here. Oh, the other way, minus. I'll plug it in here, and this one will get power from the cells. And this one has an app on my phone, and I can change settings and stuff. So how number of series of cells and all that stuff. I can show you the screenshot later. And this machine is called NEY. It does up to 24 cells series. Not 24 cells, 24 series, and up to 4 amps. I can change it to 1 amp, 2 amp, 3 amp, or 4 amp. I usually keep it on 4 amps. So let's solder. That's going to be a time-taking process. So I'm just going to follow each series, and I'm going to solder the wires, and then I'll connect it to the machine. And then just let it run. It will take like 2 to 3 hours sometimes to balance it out. And then once all the cells are balanced, it just shows me completed. And then I take them out, and then I charge the battery again. That's what I usually do. And even after balancing it, and I charge the battery, and then some cells just go to fully charge, and the others still being charged or stop charging because the one series goes really high. If it's very close, then it's fine. If it's not close, like if they all are 4.11 and the one reaches 4.19, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. It's not the best, but still not big of a deal. But if there are other are like at 4 volts or 3.9, and the after balancing, and the other ones are, I mean, one series goes to 4.19 or whatever, 4.2. That is not a good sign. So that means the resistance too high on some cells, resistance too low on some cells. So I usually prefer to just change all the cells to just start with the clean slate, because unless the BMS has balancer and stuff, I usually leave it for a couple of days and it'll balance itself out. But I don't think this one has this has a balancer. It's very small BMS. So that's what I would have to tell the client, that okay, all cells would require replacement, otherwise it's just not going to work. You can still use it, but it's not going to give you performance. So anyway, let's put the balancing wires on. Let's solder the balancing wires on, and then hook it up to the machine and leave it aside for a couple of hours. Okay, so I soldered all the wires and I plugged it in, and that starts the balancer. So I'm using the same phone that I have an app on, so I'm gonna just show you the screenshot how it looks, and then we'll go, after it's fully balanced, we'll go back to charging. Okay guys, so the update, after balancing, you saw the screenshot. I put it to charge last night and took it off before I left. It was at 54.1 volts. 54.6 is the fully charged, like fully perfect battery, so 54.1. So that is acceptable, no issues. So I left it for, let's say, left it around 1 o'clock. So right now it's 6, so it's like 16, 17 hours later. I came back. So that's how it left. So I did no charge, no discharge of any kind. And now, if I check the voltage of the cells, the complete battery, so I notice it has dropped down to 53.89, and I left it at 54.1. That means some cells are self-discharging at a very high rate, because in 16 hours it went down 0.2 or 0.3 volts. So if the client leaves it for a week or 2 or 10 days or whatever, it will go down significantly. And if they leave it around like 20% charge after they're coming back from the ride, and they leave it at 20% charge remaining, and they leave it for, I don't know, like a month, it will not charge again, because the cells would go down below the threshold of the BMS, and that's where BMS will stop charging and discharging first. Because that's what they're designed for. So even if I find those cells, they're self-discharging, and replace those, what are the chances that other cells are not going to act the same way in 2 weeks down the road or a month down the road? So to keep asking client to come back and then, repaying me for, labor and opening up the thing and then doing the diagnostic every single time, I suggested we need to change all the cells, because even if I do some cell replacement, others are going to react the same way. So it's not worth it. So the client agrees, like, yep, just replace them. He just wants his bike back running in good condition and no headache. So we gonna remove all the wires and everything, and we just gonna build a new battery with all the replaced cells, all the cells replaced. So yeah, I've done that on my channel before, so I'm not gonna show you all that, but these are the things that can happen either to your battery, or if you're working on somebody else's battery, that there is a chance that all cells may need to be replaced. If the budget is tight, you can diagnose further and then replace those cells and see if how long the rest of the battery lasts. But for now, like even right now, you can reuse it. You can just keep charging it every 5-6 days and leave it fully charged. When you store it for the night or 2 or 3 nights, it will go down like, I don't know, 5-10%, and then you can charge it again. So you can still use it if you're very tight on budget, but this client wants no problem. So we're gonna change all the cells, and since I've done that in the past and made the video about it, so I'm not gonna show you all that, but that's the outcome of this battery. So alright guys, so until next time, subscribe and please like the video. Alright, thank you.